Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Hi guys, welcome back to Top Stock Picks of the Week. I am Daniel LeBeau and I'll be followed up by Dave Bartosiak, and today I'll be talking about a very quickly growing e-commerce platform that a lot of you might not have heard of yet, but it's going to be big and it's growing, like I said, prolifically. We saw 137% top line expansion this last quarter, and it blew its estimates out of the water earlier this month. So the company I'll be talking about is Etsy. Etsy is a company that sells unique and creative products on their e-commerce platform. Anything from the masks, which have seen a real boom in the last few months, as you could probably realize why, as well as things from jewelry to arts and craft supplies. So let's dive in and take a deeper look at why this company is a buy today. So Etsy saw huge expansion this last quarter, and like you can see here, we've got 137% year-over-year growth. This is on top of the 30% to 40% top line growth that we've seen in the past quarters, and this is a larger expansion than we've seen from any of its other cohorts. So Etsy right now controls the number 4 spot in the e-commerce market in the U.S., sitting behind Amazon, eBay, and Walmart, and they are growing faster than any of them, controlling a larger and larger share of the market. So COVID gave them a huge tailwind. We saw a huge expansion with their masks. So they were selling a massive number of masks, and I expect this to continue until we get a vaccine or a usable treatment that makes people's fears depreciate on this whole pandemic front. So without the masks, we're still seeing 93% year-over-year growth, and our sellers are continuing to flood into this platform. So they sell anything from homewares and home furnishing to art supplies, as well as beauty and personal care products. So you can get a portrait of your pet, customized puzzles, anything that you really want. So the whole idea of this platform has been in the past the unique and creative kind of goods that you don't see in the larger Amazons, eBays, and Walmarts. So they are niche at the moment, but they're really trying to break out of this niche. So right now they control about 5% of this special goods e-commerce platform, and they want to grow that total addressable market to 1.7 trillion, which would encompass all of the retail categories in the online space, with the largest countries being US, UK, Canada, Germany, Australia, and France. So they're continuing to grow on that front, and they are continuing to expand the number of customers that they get on a quarterly basis. So they just grew that up almost 40%, and those customers that are coming back more than once. So we've seen a year-over-year appreciation of 51% of customers that come back for more than one purchase, and 6 purchases is up even more to 64%. So customers are getting more accommodated with this platform and are beginning to rely on it more and more. And there's a huge amount of upside, I think, to this reliance that we're seeing. We've seen 5 years of digitalization in the last 5 months, and Etsy is really seeing the tailwinds of this digitalization. So Etsy has really blown up this year. Even from these March lows, we were trading at about $30 a share. We've shot up to right around 130. Appreciating more than 4 times what it was trading at in March, and this is all justified. And I think we have a larger upside. Right now, I'm a little hesitant to buy any of these secular tech names, as we see some of these names kind of hit a barrier. You can see the NASDAQ 100 here. We've kind of fallen off a little bit, and we're trading at this level right here that I think could represent a pullback, which is right where we're at today. And we could see a broader equity pullback, which would include Etsy. But as a long-term investor, I think Etsy still represents great value. And we're looking at upside close to 150, if not way beyond that, as far as price targets go. So you can see we've just blown past all of these Fibonacci retracement levels that I have drawn. And we had the earnings, earlier this month, which completely blew out estimates. You know, I think they were 50% or more of an upside to what analysts were expecting. And we've kind of traded sideways since then as some of these investors are pulling profits off what they expected to be a big earning. So right now, I'm holding off a little bit. I'm waiting for the stock to fall back down towards 120. But if you are a long-term investor and can stomach the short-term volatility, I would not hesitate to jump in this stock today. So I think Etsy is an amazing opportunity right now. This company is already turning a strong profit, and seeing top line growth numbers in the triple digit percentages is, it's a needle in the haystack. This is an amazing company. I think it has an amazing future. We see a reliance on this technology growing, and I think that consumers are getting conditioned to use Etsy, and its platform it's an attractive platform for anybody who's used it in the past. So analysts have continued to push their estimates further and further up, and this stock is now sitting at a Zacks rank #1 justifiably. And like I said, if you're a long-term investor, I would not hesitate to jump into this stock. So I'm going to turn this over to Dave Bartosiak. So thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, Dave Bartosiak here, and I've got my top stock pick of the week. I've been talking about this stock a little bit. I have it in Surprise Trader. I believe I talked about it on the Zus, and I just can't stop bragging about it. It is Homebuilder, D.R. Horton, ticker DHI. It is the Zacks rank #1, a strong buy. Let me show you a few things that I like about it on our Zacks.com website. So here we can see, folks, D.R. Horton. Not only is it in the good graces of our Zacks rank as a Zacks rank #1, a strong buy, but we have a solid VGM composite score here. We have Zacks value style score of C, growth score of C, momentum of B, helping round out with a VGM composite of B. Now that's the second best that we could get. The best obviously is an A, so this is pretty good here. Also, the stock is in a great industry. The building products home builders industry is in the top 2% of our Zacks industry rank. Pretty impressive when you realize that there are 252 industries which we rank. What's the reason for that? Well, we're coming off a really good earnings report last quarter. D.R. Horton reported Q1 EPS of $1.72 versus expectations calling for $1.27. Revenues $5.39 billion versus $5.04 billion expectations. And that's where we can see, folks, sorry about this menu. That's where we can see our big EPS surprise here, 35.43% to the upside. It's even looking like early on for next quarter, we already have a positive ESP. So what is that? That basically tells you that the recent earnings expectations really have been coming out from analysts, and they're pretty bullish to the upside. Now let's take a look at some of the growth numbers here. At the top, first we have sales estimates, so revenue numbers. Year-over-year growth, 16.25% for the current quarter. Current year is going to round out 12.73%, but things get even better next year with 13.96% revenue growth rather. Now on the earnings growth side, this is even better. 35.66% earnings growth year over year. That's pretty great. And then next year, they're being modest. They're saying it's going to slow down to about 12.82%. So that's really what the story here is, stock specific on D.R. Horton. And again, the whole industry being in the home builders, we're seeing a lot of people moving from big cities to the Sun Belt to other areas with lower taxes and so on. So lots of new homes being built, lots of people moving, tons of migration, real estate doing great in some areas of the U.S. while it's suffering in others. But those areas where it's suffering typically don't get a lot of new home starts. So it's okay for stocks like D.R. Horton. So that's why I got D.R. Horton as my top stock pick of the week. Don't forget, check out Zacks.com/promo to check out our great deal we've got going on our home study course. Again, that's Zacks.com/promo. Check us out there. That's all we've got for you for this week. We'll see you next week on Top Stock Picks. Have a good one.